Nico, well done. Let's start with your goal because playing as a fullback, but you were there attacking the space of a striker. So could you talk us through that?
Yeah, I mean, I just seen the space, so I thought run into it. I knew we had cover at the back. So yeah, I just did it, and luckily Nunes flashed it across, and I was there to finish it.
David, felt like you matched City for the vast majority of that game. Were you pleased with how well you did for the first 70 odd minutes, or more disappointed at the last 10?
I thought for 60 odd minutes we were okay. I thought we played well and gave it a game. Gave them a good game. I think Tarky coming off had a big change in the game. It really did. I think it changed a lot of things, and it shouldn't have, but it did. But yeah, I think their subs didn't make a difference there. I thought their subs did. We didn't know when we tried to change things. We didn't get any more control back in the game. Man City had get big control in the second half. The first half, I thought we'd done a really good job in creating a few opportunities. We played well, but we just couldn't get a goal to go with it, really.
That triple substitution quite late on, was that more tactical, hoping to try and get something more from the performance? Was that more about trying to learn and look at the players in in-game situations again with it?
No, the injury to Tarky threw us because we had to make a sub, and it meant that we only had one sub left after that. So if we didn't make three at the time, then we were only going to make one. So I felt as if we had to try and see. But we need these boys to come off the bench, and they have done. We need them to have a big impact in the game, and I have to say, a lot of them have done for me since I've been here. I just didn't feel that today. I felt as if Manchester City got a bit of joy from theirs rather than we did today.
Did you think you felt the loss of Idris again when he came off as well? Because he was very good for that first hour.
I think there was a few of them. It could have been Idris or Jimmy. Both felt as if they were suffering a bit of cramp. So that was one of the bits behind that, really.
And have you heard anything more on Tarkowski? What his situation
looks like he's hamstring, obviously. So we've not heard any more than that, and we'll get him assessed during the week.
And just finally, Chimiti wasn't in the squad. Can I just ask why?
I had the numbers were. Didn't work. Yeah.
Thank you. Paddy?
David, you said the Tarkowski sub obviously had an impact on your team. Did you feel like you learned something from him going off and how big a presence maybe he is in the squad?
Yeah, I've just made a point there in one of the other stations there. Said that it's given me a chance to see what we're like without one of them. So if we had got an injury to Tarky or Jared, then it gives me a chance to see what we can do and how we're going to play. So I'll have some options, I'll have some choices, and I'll see what it was like. But I didn't feel as comfortable. I thought we should have definitely dealt with the first goal better than we did do. But we had given the ball away terribly in a simple pass in the in and around their box, which would have maybe made the difference. But I have to say the boys have done a great job, and it's amazing that when I first came in here, I'm now pretty disappointed that I've lost to Man City.
He's such a big presence. Do you think you almost lost something more in terms of his leadership?
I agree. I think you could feel it. You could feel it. And I think Man City sensed it as well. So it's something which, as a club, we'll need to consider. Because if we do lose him, they're between him and Jared and the goalkeeper are an incredibly strong part of the team. And when one of them's out, you can see that it can have a big effect.
His injury now, you've said it'll be assessed, but would it be an option potentially to give somebody like Jake O'Brien minutes in his regular position?
Jake plays every game is in the main, is a bit of a hybrid right back. He's doing a great job. We could have done it today, but we felt that they've been changing two positions instead of one at the time, so we stuck with what we thought would have been the right decision, or what we believe would be the right decision.
Of course the motivation is different when you win the title, but we accept that many months. But I try to convince the players that qualification for the Champions League is a huge achievement. In this country, in this league, it's a huge. Don't feel sorry for ourselves because we make a no good season and the other ones were better. It's happened. But still we have something that is really good, for the future to be improved and be in the positions that we want to be in the Champions League, and that is enough. Listen, the characters always, you win, you have character, you don't win, you don't have character. This is the motto. You have to know something, so what these players have done for 1 decade, I'm too much grateful. Whatever happened in this season, more than ever. So because in the toughest period for many reasons, especially injury reasons, so we were more or less stable in terms of, okay, keep going next time, and of course we are miles away from Liverpool, Arsenal, but now tonight we sleep fourth. We'll see what happens. Nottingham Forest and Spurs away. We'll see in a few hours Newcastle, Aston Villa, Newcastle. So Fulham, Nottingham and Chelsea, Fulham away. So we'll see. So now it's in our hands. We need a final on Tuesday, but 3 games at home, 2 away, and hopefully we can achieve this big success to qualify for the Champions League.
Well, Shay, your old team were far from their best, but in the end, though, they pick up a huge win.
Yeah, perhaps it's a huge achievement if they qualify for Champions League. Probably not with the squad he's got together and the way they've dropped off this season. But again, Everton, the last couple of games at Goodison Park, it's not an easy place to go. And it wasn't the best games, if I'm being brutally honest about it. But at the same time, they kept going, and young O'Reilly, the fullback, popped up in an Alan Shearer position right in the middle of the 6-yard box and strokes it away. I mean, there's an overload on the outside that maybe Everton will look at. Can they defend it better? Can they stop the cross into the box? And then obviously, as David Moyes mentioned, you've lost Tarkowski, your captain. If you highlight, Keane in the middle, he's very square onto the ball. He doesn't really know where Riley is. You can see O'Brien's position; his shoulders are open. Whereas keep an eye on Keane, the number 5. He's square onto the ball, doesn't know where O'Reilly is, and he nips in. And it's a really good finish from the young man.
It's a fantastic movement. I mean, it's picked the bones out from an Everton point of view. It's terrible defending. But from his point of view, Nico O'Reilly, where he runs from to get in there and finish it the way he did was fantastic.
I'll tell you what, I mean, the academy youngsters turning out to be an unlikely source of big goals.
Yeah, and I mean, I think he's been one of certainly the plus points of the past sort of couple of months. But at the minute, it's not about how Man City play. It's about them getting results, and they've got one today without playing particularly well.
Yeah, so 1 goal from a youngster, the second one from a veteran, Mateo Kovacic, with a nice steered finish.
Very similar to his finish last week against Crystal Palace, I think it was. Really, he sort of slips and slides into it, and he gets a really, really good connection. I mean, Pickford's got absolutely no chance at all. You can see him coming from deep there with no one around him. He wants it laid back to him on the edge of the box, perhaps a better one, so he doesn't have to adjust so much. But he makes the most of that slip and tucks it away really, really well. Yeah. Clever finish.
Do you know, Manchester City under Pep Guardiola had never gone 3 Premier League away games without a win. And they needed that. Because their away form of late had let them down.
They did need that, and they're normally out of sight, towards the top of the league. They're challenging for the Premier League title, but they're in a different race this season. They really are, and they have fallen off a cliff. They have underperformed this season, and the race is very much on for the Champions League. And when I say that, I include Manchester City. There's by no means they're already in that position for top 5, and we've seen Villa, Newcastle, and the teams around them. Yeah, they're all chasing for the same positions.
Exactly, and you teed me up nicely. So with Newcastle, Villa, and Manchester City having played on the Saturday, all involved in the race for the top 5, this is where we're at in terms of those contenders, and there are going to be some disappointed teams. 2 of them who miss out. So where are we? Who's got the advantage? Newcastle still in pole position, Alan?
Yeah, because they've got a trophy. They're in 3rd, and they'll just have to try and put the result behind them today. And they've got the ideal home game next to get over that. I look at those fixtures, and I think Chelsea, without doubt, have got the toughest list of fixtures. For me, when Fulham is a tough one. With Liverpool, whether they'd won the title or not. Newcastle away, going head to head, and then of course you look at that last one, Forest.
Yeah, it's been a while since Chelsea have been as low as 7th. Mm-hmm. They need to try and claw back some momentum here.
You're correct, that's the right word, momentum. They've lost that, Manish, they really have. They've had a real sticky patch. But you look at Nottingham Forest and Chelsea, they both have a game in hand. If you add them 3 points together, then they're going to jump above City, of course, and Newcastle. So they've still got a brilliant chance of Champions League football. I mean, Tottenham away Monday night, obviously, is a big game for Nottingham Forest, who have also had a bit of a sticky patch at the wrong time of the season, because, we're talking about Nuno for maybe manager of the season, if he can get them into the Champions League position. It's a great race. Look, all them clubs in that picture can all get there. The big question is who's going to miss out, I suppose.
Can you see Forest missing out?
I can.
That would be a huge crying shame considering what they've done for most of this season.
Look, I've said that for a while, and people have laughed me out of the studio, but I just think for whatever reason they've actually overachieved all season. A bit like when Leicester won the league, they can't do it, and maybe Forest will take sort of some encouragement. They can do it, and Nuno will be saying, we can do it. We can go to Tottenham Monday night and win the game, and they can get Champions League football.
Right, OK, time for...